afternoon. Live from the press briefing area of the new executive building, we bring you the press conference of Presidential Spokesperson Secretary Edwin Lacerda.
Good afternoon, Marie. Ang ganda na introduction mo. Welcome, Sec Weng. I saw you on the stage yesterday. Let's go to... So I have a courtesy call at... I'm joining the courtesy call of Mr. Gonon and Ms. Gomez at 1 o'clock. So it will be a brief... Briefing.
First question will come from Mimi Gonzalez of Business Mirror. World.
Hi, sir. The President signed the expanded Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act. Sir, what is the significance of having this law?
Well, number one, let me give you the details. We were not given the details of the law itself. I have not seen the law. We were informed that the President signed it, and we'll just give you the details. I don't have the contents with me right now. I apologize. We were doing some other matters yesterday. But we'll give you the details. I'll text you the answer.
Sir, but how big a problem is trafficking in the country that we have to expand an existing law?
You must realize that over a year ago we were taken out of that category, tier 2. So we're still in the watch list. We would like to improve our standing in the watch list, and we hope that with this expanded coverage of anti-trafficking, we'll be able to remove ourselves from the watch list. This is a concern and a priority of our President, and this measure will be enforced by the different agencies, especially the Department of Justice, as well as our police agencies.
Paul Atienza of...
Hi, Paul.
Secretary, good afternoon po. So on the matter of the ILG, on the midnight appointees, do we still have midnight appointees? How do we treat these midnight appointees as of now?
Midnight appointees as a term has been used to refer to appointees made during the prohibited period or in anticipation. So we don't have midnight appointments technically. It only applies when there's a change of administration. What you might be referring to, I think, is on the ban on COMELEC appointments.
No, sir. What I am referring to is are those people who were appointed by former president who are still sitting in the position.
Oh, you mean when we changed government?
Yes, sir. In spite of the Supreme Court decision.
There was I think EO2 was upheld. I think you're referring to EO2. I think our position was upheld. So let me check the specific persons that you were referring to, but it was filed by Lukman. And I think by the time the Court of Appeals, I think it was the Court of Appeals who made the decision.
Sir, because I brought this up because I heard that there are still people in the National Police Commission who are sitting, and these are considered as midnight appointees.
Let me check the status of their appointments, if they have been extended or they reappointed. I am not. You're referring to NAPOLCOM.
Yes,
we
sir.
will
I
check
think
there
are 3 or 4 commissioners still sitting.
We will verify their appointments. Thank you, Paul.
Weng de la Fuente of Net 25.
Sir,
yes,
speaking of cabinet officials during the proclamation rally last night.
Yes, you were very pretty, by the way.
Yeah, I know. So, sir, there are questions if they should be seen on the stage. Wala bang conflict dun sa pagpunta nila or appearance sila sa isang political sorties?
Let's take it twofold. No? Legally, there is no prohibition. Supreme Court has already rendered a decision on that being alter egos of the President, we are allowed, and being political appointees, we are allowed to campaign, and there is no prohibition with that respect. On governance, we need the senatorial votes, the people that the President has chosen to help us in the reform measures. So that's the reason why we believe in the candidates of the President. We stand side by side with the senatorials of the President, and so we believe that we are in a position to also convince our countrymen the need to elect the 12 chosen candidates of the President.
Sir, do you share the statements of Senator that the midterm election is a referendum to the administration of President Aquino?
I think this is a basis to see if where were we 3 years ago and where are we now 3 years since the President was appointed. We've introduced a number of measures, reform measures. We have improved, we've introduced a number of poverty alleviation programs. We have instituted a number of anti-corruption objectives, or rather measures as well. And therefore, we believe that the people ought to see that if they're happy with and they're contented and they want to see further improvements in their welfare, these are the people that you should choose to further the reform measures of the President.
But we must admit that there are candidates na medyo mahina siya talaga. So if we say that parang this is a referendum to the President, yung endorsement power niya would also be questioned if this candidate did not make it in the election.
Maaga. So, still maaga pa yan. Yung mga sinasabing wala sa Magic 12, papasok yan. We are confident that with this period, with the President campaigning, we will be able to convince our countrymen of the need to appoint these 12 people.
Sir, you also promised that government resources...
elect these 12 people. I stand corrected. Thank you,
So,
Marie.
you are also ensuring that government resources would not be used. Pero paano natin sabi nga yung i-delineate yung line between the President performing his duty as President tapos as a party leader. Kasi diba sir, when the President appears, nandyan yung government station, the RTVM, so that's part of the government.
Those are events of the President. You cover them regardless of whether whatever the President does. You go abroad, you spend for that. That's part of the President's work as a President. And in furtherance of his agenda, this is part of those measures that the President would like to do. And part of this pushing forth the agenda of the President is to campaign for the people he wants elected.
Royce Sibol of TV5.
Sir, how about yung mga cabinet members? Are they expected to appear sa mga parang rallies na malalaki na nandun si Pangulo? Hindi ba parang naaaksaya din naman yung oras nila instead na nagtatrabaho sila dun sa mga agencies nila?
Hindi naman. May mga bagay, may mga pupuntahan si Presidente, relevant ang isang cabinet secretary, so siguro makakasama si Presidente. Dahil ang programa, sino ba nakakaalam for instance ng agricultural, anong ginagawa natin sa agricultural sector? For instance, if the President is visiting the countryside, may mga agricultural inputs tayo doon, so sino magandang pumunta ron? Kasama ni Pangulong Aquino, for instance, si Secretary Pro, si Alcala. Kung tungkol naman sa agrarian reform, makakasama niya si Secretary Gil de los Reyes to give him also the details kung ano nang ginawa na yun. This is part of what we would like to tell the people. This is what we've done for you and these are the things that we intend to continue doing for you.
Sir, may mga pumupuna dun sa speech, endorsement speech kagabi ni Presidente dun sa Team Pinoy. Parang masyado na raw 2010 yung dating. Parang hindi na kumbaga sinasabi niya na marami nang nagawa and yet yung mga binitawan niya last time, nandun pa rin yung mga lumang cases na dapat kahit papaano na-aksyonan na ng Administrasyong Aquino. So, lumang tugtugin daw, sir.
Maraming mga bagay na ginagawa natin na kaya natin gawin kapag executive branch ang tinutukoy nyo. Maraming mga bagay na wala na rin sa kamay ng executive branch tulad na nasa judiciary na. Maraming mga bagay na nasa legislative branch pa. Ang ginagawa natin, ang pagtukoy po sa nakaraan ay yung mga ginawa natin at ginagawa pa rin natin sa hanay sa executive branch. So, we're doing everything that we've been for the past 3 years, we've been clearing the landmines, we've been introducing reforms, but the work goes on. And we need to remind people where we were before, the kind of governance you have right now, because we step in, where we continue to do the reforms, we continue to clear whatever inefficiencies there are in the national government.
Bomber Raymond.
Sir, we could understand. maybe it could be understood if it's coming from the president. But what about those senatorial candidates who are still using the former president as a punching bag, as a springboard to push their
You are referring to
to those candidates who usually use the former president to push for their candidacy. They cannot just present their platforms for a higher level of debate.
good governance requires a perspective, where we came from, what we're doing, where we're headed. And so you take the whole picture of what good governance is all about. Otherwise, you won't be able to, you'll take for granted what we were during the past. This happened also, for instance, in the Marcos years. The new generation now seem to have forgotten the excesses of the Marcos regime. This is the same thing that we're doing. We're trying to remind people, this is where we came from, and this is the fruit of what you did when you elected President Aquino. And President Aquino is now asking the entire Filipino people to elect these people that he has chosen in order to push forward good governance, which will translate to a better society, a better situation for all our countrymen.
Also, it may be also understood if it's the president joining the sorties, because also he is a member of the Liberal Party. What about the cabinet members who are non-members of the Liberal Party, who will be paying for their expenses? Taxpayers?
No, like we said, sagot po ito lahat ng ating, ang may sagot po ang Liberal Party, ang may mga gastusin po. Walang gagastusin pera po ng gobyerno dito sa kampanya.
Even for the cabinet secretaries?
Even for the cabinet secretaries, when they're going to an area, there will be certain projects that will be launched, that will be inaugurated. Will be there also to attend to those things. The presence of the president will involve governance in all things that he does.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, we have to cut this press conference. Secretary Lacerda is being called to the office of the president. Maybe you can text him your questions. Okay,
Text
thank
na
you,
lang.
Secretary
Thank you very
Lacerda.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, Malacañang Press Corps. Thank you, Radio TV Malacañang. We turn you over to Radyo ng Bayan and PTV4.